comic book fans? Blue Goblin here with part 2 of the current comic book video blog for this week. This is an mainly 90% X-Men. So, you X-Men fans, I think you'll enjoy this section. First, we're going to start with Ultimatum number 3. Get the glare off there. Yeah, see that really well? Okay. Jeff Loeb, David Finch, I gotta give you thanks, man, because this series is really, really good. This like Amazing Spider-Girl, as I covered in part 1, is a little bit underrated. I mean, I don't see very many reviews of this particular series on the internet or through other comic book reviewers like magazines and whatnot. This is really nice stuff. This is nice storytelling, great writing, great artwork. If you're not into this series, then you're missing out on a real gem here. This is very nice stuff. I mean, all I can say is poor Yellow Jacket. Poor Yellow Jacket and poor Thor. So, that's all I'm going to say. You know me, I don't spoil anything unless the story is absolutely terrible. And this is certainly not terrible. I think you'll enjoy this if you haven't been enjoying it already. It's really good. Now let's get to the X's. First, we're going to do Ultimate X-Men number 100. This is the final issue of Ultimate X-Men. I'm really sad to see this series go because it's one of my favorite titles. You know, I'm not talking about just the Ultimate Universe in general. I'm talking about comic books. I'm talking about entire comic books. This was such a great series. It had a great run, and it ended remarkably well as far as I'm concerned. You know, Jamie Madrox, the ultimate version of Jamie Madrox, is going on a rampage. He's quite the lunatic. Wolverine figured there's only one way to stop him. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to spoil what happens in this book, but I will say this: it's supposed to be continued in Ultimatum number 3. So if I did these reviews backward, out of order, I don't care. I'm reviewing this in the order I want to do it, and the story with this particular story is going to be concluded in the Ultimate X-Men Requiem issue, which is going to give us the final story about the Ultimate X-Men, but this is the final issue of the regular series, and unlike Ultimate Fantastic Four, this one went out really, really well. Well, we go from Ultimate X-Men to Uncanny X-Men. This is Uncanny X-Men number 507. Now, I've made it no secret in the past that past issues of Uncanny have been either just alright, or they flat out sucked. The last issue, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty bad. It was pretty pitiful. Pitiful. I was about ready to possibly give up hope on this series until I read this issue. Was it stellar? Was it spectacular? Hell no. But it was readable. It was actually readable. And I told Craig, I said, a lot of X books are coming out this week, and even Uncanny X-Men surprised me. And I told him, yeah, hell just froze over. I actually enjoyed reading an issue currently of Uncanny X-Men. I'm going to tell you right now, the last page, enough said. Go ahead I'd say go ahead and read it, but you can decide whether or not you want to buy it. But just last page. Last page. Okay, next up, X-Force. X-Force number 13. I gotta keep up with the damn issue numbers. I'm getting sick and tired of having to relook. But this is X-Force number 13. We're still in the prelude to the X-War, Messiah War, whatever you want to call it. It's supposed to be a crossover between X-Force and Cable. And I gotta tell you, X-Force is still an incredible series. This is the next book to have if you're an X-Men fan. And I will always love the advertisement that they first had at issue 1. The X-Men don't kill people, but these aren't the X-Men. They're the X-Force. Incredible. Yet another book that we have to have Wolverine in, but regardless of that, it's still an incredible series. This particular issue, I get to see Surge for the first time since New X-Men. And if they're going the way I think they're going with this series, I'm going to be really disappointed with what they do with Surge. Hopefully they won't go where I think they're going. But all in all, it's still a great book. It also makes me wonder why if Cyclops' personal feelings are getting in the way of his better judgment for the team. The Messiah War is going to be pretty damn interesting as far as I'm concerned. Go ahead and pick this up. I recommend it fully. Next up, issue number 41 of XFactor. Peter David. He's been putting in the beginning of the books for I think like the past 3 issues. I don't know, 3 issues? Yeah. Where he says, do not spoil anything from these books. And you know what? He has every right to do that because I believe that this is some of his best writing. This is awesome. With what we saw in the past 2 issues was just holy shit. And there's no exception to this. This was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. When this volume of XFactor started, I didn't have very many expectations for it, and damn it, was I ever glad I was wrong. This is an awesome X book to have. This is really, really good stuff. I'm gonna show my respect to Peter David and not spoil anything. I'm just gonna tell you, get this book and get this series. If it continues to go the way it's going right now, it is going to be, without a doubt, one of the best series to have as an X-Men fan. It's great. If you're not reading that, then what the hell is wrong with you? Now, I saved this book for last, and I think you already know what it is. I don't even have to show it, do I? Okay, I'll show it. Yeah, Wolverine, Old Man Logan, number 71. Keep an eye out for this series, if you don't mind, please. Wolverine, Old Man Logan, number 70. I gotta tell you, every time I read that book, I just go, shit. I mean, this is perhaps one of the best Wolverine stories I've read in a long, long time. And I still believe Craig at Greenland when he says that the issue number 70 is probably still going to go down as the best single issue of 2009. This was, without a doubt, kick-ass. It was spectacularly done. Mark Millar, Steve McNiven, giving you props. Great stuff here. Was this as shocking as number 70? Not quite, but it was still incredibly done. I'm going to tell you right now, when you see Pym Falls, you're just going to go, Pym Falls. Damn it! And the last page just, whoa. I hate to geek out so bad because it's just, I want to spoil it. I want to spoil this so bad, but because of my respect for other comic book fans out there who might not have read this stuff yet, I want to spoil it so bad, but I just can't. I want to, but I can't. It's great. You will love this series. I know Wolverine's the most overused character in Marvel comic books, but don't skip out on this. This is great stuff. How could it get any better than number 70? I'm going to tell you right now, I really tried here with number 71. Didn't quite make it, but it was still spectacular. Go ahead and get this. This was the best book of the week, without question. Well, that's all I got. So I guess I'll just see you around. So, later.